Okay, this is 3.8a of geometry. We're going to look at parallel lines. Parallel lines have the same slope. If you remember parallel lines, they don't ever touch. So we can go both ways. We can say if two lines are parallel, then their slopes are equal. And if the slopes of two lines are equal, then they're parallel. And also vertical lines, two vertical lines are parallel and two horizontal lines will always be parallel. Okay, so if we are asked to check if they're parallel lines, we need to figure out their slopes. So I have line 1 with 2 points, and I'd calculate out the slope, right? Plug it into my slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then I'd do the same for the second line with 2 points, calculate my slope. If they're parallel lines, they're going to have exactly the same slope. So in this case, I got out -3 and -7/2, so they are not parallel. So let's try our own down here. I'm given 2 points that are on line L, and I'm given 2 points that are, L3, and I'm given 2 points on L4, and they want to know are L3 and L4 parallel. So up here, I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to find the slope of L3. My y2 is 2 minus my y1 is 6 over my y2 is -1 minus, and my my x1 is -13. So I have minus and negative there. So this changes into 2 minus 6 over -1 plus 13. 2 minus 6 is -4 over -1 plus 13 is 12. And then I can simplify this. I can divide the top by 4. And I can divide the bottom by 4. It'll give me -1 over 3. So -1/3 is the slope of line 3. And then I'll do the same thing for line 4. So I'm going to make this one x1, y1. And I'll make this guy x2, y2. So, slope of L4 is my y2, 7, minus my y1, 6, over my x2, 6, minus my x1, 3. 7 minus 6 is 1. 6 minus 3 is 3, so my slope is 1/3. These are not parallel lines because the slope for L3 was -1/3 and the slope for L4 was +1/3. They need to be exactly the same to be parallel. Okay, and now we're going to write equations of parallel lines. What is an equation of the line parallel to y equals -3x minus 5 that contains a point -1, 8? Okay, what do I know about parallel lines? I know that they have the same slope. So if it's going to be parallel to this line, then the slope of my new line needs to be -3. So I have a point it goes through, and I know m is equal to -3. Now this is just like we did last section, where I'm given a point and a slope, and I need to make an equation. So I'll use my point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Label my point x1, y1, and just plug in. So y minus, plug in 8 for y1, equals, plug in -3 for my slope, x minus, and my x1 is -1. And then again, to clean it up, I'm going to change that into a plus sign. And there would be my equation. So let's try another one. What is an equation of the line parallel to y equals -x minus 7? If there's no number out front, it's just a 1, remember? So this is a -1x. minus 7. So my slope here is -1. Remember, if I match up my y equals mx plus b, my slope, my m, is -1. And it goes to the point -5, 3. So -5 is my x1, 3 is my y1. Here's my general form. Okay, I'm going to plug in my y1, so y minus, instead of y1, I'm going to write 3, equals, my slope was -1, times x minus, and I'm plugging in -5 for x1. Again, I don't want to leave those two negatives, so I'll rewrite it to make it look a little nicer, and put a plus sign in there. And that would be my equation. And there's your homework.